Keith, what makes fun sculpting different?
Well, so this technology actually uses a gentle vibration function. It's very similar in looks to other liposuction, but what that vibration function does is it has like a circular motion, and so it confuses the nerves. It's so gentle on the connective tissue and on the blood vessels. You don't get a direct hit on any of those things, and so the fat is also more easily mobile at that point. So then it comes out a lot more gently than what we see in liposuction procedures, where you actually have to be underneath the general anesthetic for that. For this procedure also, we see just remarkable skin tightening, and the smoothness that that skin has is very, very beautiful, almost youthful afterwards, after that fat is gone. It's a lot different than some of the cool sculpting that you can have, where it can freeze or scar that fat in place. Some of the laser lipos as well, what they do is they heat that fat, and so then that fat, just your body loses the muscular contour. I'm actually able to regain that muscular contour all over again. What I like to say is, I'll take care of the fat, but you got to take care of the muscle, and so then it will actually all your efforts in the gym will be a lot more noticeable.
That's wonderful. How long is the recovery?
The very first 24 hours, from what all of our patients are saying, is pretty rough. After that 24 hours, they're just progressing by leaps and bounds. By day 3, they're feeling really good. Many of our patients head right back to work right after that 24-hour window. By week 3, a lot of that pain, discomfort is gone. A lot of people notice too that the sites will drain for about that first 3 days, most noticeably in that first 3 days. And after that, it just tapers off quite a bit. We are closing those sites a lot more to reduce that scarring. But those are really our big points there.
Does the fat come back?
Everything I can do to remove that fat, you could undo if you are not adhering to a good diet. But the big part about this is it's harder to grow fat in those areas after you've had a liposuction procedure with fun sculpting. The adipose cell in and of itself is stationary, and it just blows up in those areas as it accumulates more nutrient from the body. And so once we remove those cells are not going to be present anymore, and they're not going to balloon up. However, there's some research that they're doing on fat in other parts of the world right now that I would say is more cutting edge, and it's giving us a good idea of what can happen. And so I tend to stick with what I have said. If I remove the fat, you can certainly undo everything that I have done. But if you are going to be healthy in your lifestyle, make healthy eating choices, this will be a lot easier for you to maintain, and you're gonna love the way you look.
What are the health benefits?
This one's a fun one to talk about, because what we're seeing, number one, is we pull that fat out. We're seeing people who have diabetes actually having less of a rise in their blood sugars. Their hemoglobin A1C is improving. This is noted most most dramatically in some of the research that we get out of Germany. From a mental health perspective, people are noticing less depression, less anxiety as a result of having just the fat taken out. There's probably a couple of different reasons for that, but first and foremost has got to be your mental well-being. When you feel good about yourself, you start to feel happier, and you have a better perspective. And so that certainly doesn't go unnoticed, but by removing the fat, all those neurotransmitters rely on the lipid to be created that are signaling for depression and then anxiety. And so we start removing that fat, we see people have less depressive episodes and less anxiety.
That's wonderful.